Hey guys, it's Richard and welcome to a new series that I'm doing here that I'm going to call Quest for Questcape. Basically, as I'm quite close to getting a Questcape, I've got a few quests left and that's pretty much it. I'm going to be just doing like the last boss fight of a quest, or like an interesting part of the quest. Like maybe if there's no fight or anything, I'll just do like cutscenes and whatnot. And I'll talk about what I thought of the quest. If it's a crap quest, then I'm not really interested in doing it. But I mean, I'm going to do my best to make the video as interesting as possible and do like the interesting quests, say whether they're good or bad, general opinions, like what was good, what was bad, and then see how it all turns out. Now, today I'm going to be talking about the Firemakers curse, which was a nice, interesting quest actually. It was quite an interesting storyline in general. The puzzles were kind of fun. It's kind of good if you enjoy puzzles and whatnot. It was a good quest to do. And it was obviously you can still use a guide for it, which I like quests like that where you can set yourself the challenge if you like want to do the challenge. I know a lot of people don't like using guides for quests, but if you're finding it too hard, you can quite easily do the puzzles and whatnot. I mean, it's pretty easy to get the hang of some of the things in this quest, and so the puzzles are quite easy, like basically making shapes, avoiding things that are killing you. Whereas like I know there was a sort of a detective part of it where you've got to detect who's like the evil one and who's been possessed, and if you get it wrong, then you get consequences. But on the other hand, there were definite problems with this quest. To start off, the final boss fight, as you can see right now, had so many mechanical flaws. I thought the whole general idea of it, the way that it wasn't actually based on combat stats for once, instead it was based on how many fires you had lit and then the amount of damage you cause is based on that. And so let's say you had if you have 5 fires lit, you deal 505 damage. So it's just the amount of fires you have lit times 1,000 times 101, and that made it a bit different and moves away from the general concept of doing like doing like massive boss gear and whatever. Like, you don't have to have lots of gear for it. You basically just have to have a fast weapon. I use darts. Now I use throwing knives in the end because darts seem to have really low range. But the major issue was just the mechanics in the last boss fight. You could run through the firewall. If you just run straight through it rather than waiting for it to go over you, it doesn't cause you any damage whatsoever. Bit of a flaw that. And the melee range of the enemy just seemed to be ridiculous. If you were within about 5 squares, to be honest, sometimes even more, it would still melee you, and it made me rage so hard when I was getting damage caused against me at ridiculous ranges. And I actually failed it first 3 times until I moved to the throwing knives. But the good thing about that, it means it's cheap. In terms of rewards were insane. They're about to pop up right now after a bit of spiel from these people, so you'll be able to see that. And in general, quite an interesting quest. I'd recommend doing it. I mean, that after this quest, it means I have 17 left to do. The next one I'm doing, I think, is Song from the Depths, moving from a higher end one to a lower end one, which sort of changes the pace of it a little bit. I'd rather do some easy ones that like over in 5 minutes, and some that, because I think this took me probably about an hour and a half with messing about and boss fights and whatever. It wasn't too much walking around. Pretty interesting quest in all. I'd recommend doing it. A lot of fun. So I hope you guys try it out, enjoy the quest, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy this series. So thanks for watching.